My next review is called Summer of '84 in 2018. Here's the storyline. After suspecting that their police officer neighbor is a serial killer, a group of teenage friends spend their summer spying on him and gathering evidence. But as they get closer to the truth, it gets dangerous. Directed by François Simard, Anouk, Whissell, and Yoann-Karl, Whissell. Wow. Written by Matt Leslie and Stephen J. Smith. Here's the cast. Graham Verchere as Davy Armstrong. Judah Lewis as Tommy Eats Eaton. Caleb Emery as Dale Woody Woodworth. Corey Gruder Andrew as Curtis Faraday. Tiara Scoboy as Nikki Kazuba. Rich Sommer as Wayne Mackey. Jason Gray Stanford as Randall Armstrong. And Shauna Johansson as Sheila Armstrong. And William McDonald as Sheriff Caldwell. And the cast goes on. Before we get started, now I don't know about you, but I love 80s throwback movies. And obviously this takes place in the summer of '84. I remember the summer of '84 for real. I was just about to turn 16. You had a bunch of kids that hanging out for the summer, and their neighbor is Officer Mackey. Just by Officer Mackey's persona is shady to me. And of course, there was this Cape May killer. The one gentleman, Davy, he's known to have all these ideas, what he thinks is going on, and his buddies don't really pay attention to him. They do, but they're so used to him doing this. But he convinced his friends to follow around, just watching his every move, because he thinks he's the Cape May killer. It was Davy's neighbor, of course, too. So, and then one day, there's a young lady. Her name is Nikki Kazuba. Was his babysitter when he was younger, and his buddies razz him about that, So she starts coming around to see him, and it's just a pretty cool film. Anyways, they play this game. I think it's called I can't remember what the game is called anymore. And at nighttime they run around and have fun like kids would do in '84, So what happens is they start tagging, just keep an eye on Officer Mackey, where he goes, or when he leaves the house, goes for a jog. They trying to gather evidence against him, and of course they tell the parents the first time and didn't believe him, and they made him go over to Mackey and apologize, and he gets grounded, and then Mackey decides to come to the house and say, "Hey, I'll get you out of the house. No hard feelings." And then there's a scene in the movie to where Davy sees this boy in his house, and all of a sudden that boy disappears. So that's how he figured that Mackey is the killer, because this killer would kill 12 to 15-year-old boys. Davy asked him to call. He claims it's his nephew or whatever, cousin or whatever, and he makes Mackey call him. Of course, there was no answer. So then Mackey leaves. Well, it turns out that all Mackey did was call his own house. So now he knows that he's the killer. So later on the movie goes on. Well, I'm not going to say too much. I don't want to ruin the film, but it turns out him and Nikki went into his house and they found exactly what they thought. So now there's a police hunt for him. But that's not where the movie ends. I'll stop right there in case you have not seen it. It's a really fucking cool film. I love the 80s throwback. I love the storyline, a great cast. The ending you got to see it. Enough said. Summer of '84 in 2018. This is Gruesome Herzog. I give this film an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this film a lot. So definitely check it out. This is Gruesome Herzog, and I'm out of here.